I'm sure you've heard the news. In the heart of the forest, a great challenge awaits. Tiny ants are about to face off against giant elephants. This is a story of courage and determination, where the smallest creatures stand their ground against the mightiest giants. Deep in a vast forest lived many animals. Monkeys swung from trees, snakes slithered through leaves, and birds sang beautiful melodies. This forest was a magical place where the sounds of nature blended together, creating a symphony of sounds that filled the air with joy and happiness. Every corner of the forest held a story, and every tree witnessed unforgettable adventures. This was the Whispering Woods, a place full of wonder and excitement. Here, the animals lived in perfect harmony, sharing resources and enjoying the beauty of nature. The forest was home to rare creatures, some of which had never been seen anywhere else. Every day the sun rose between the tall trees, illuminating the forest floor with its warm light. The sun's rays filtered through the leaves, creating artistic paintings of shadows and light. This scene brought a sense of peace and tranquility. The animals would wake up and start their day, some searching for food, others playing. Life in the forest flowed at a calm and organized pace, where every creature knew its role and place. The animals cooperated with each other, living in perfect harmony. The Whispering Woods was always teeming with life. The trees pulsed with life, the rivers flowed clearly, and the air was filled with the scent of fragrant flowers. This place was a paradise on earth, where one could forget their worries and enjoy the beauty of nature. One day, something strange happened. The atmosphere suddenly changed, and a mysterious feeling prevailed. The animals felt that something unusual was happening, but no one knew what it was. The ground began to shake, and the leaves on the trees trembled. This tremor was unnatural, as if it foretold something big. The animals felt fear and anxiety, seeking shelter to protect them. The animals stopped playing. What was happening? Eyes watched, ears listened, waiting to find out the reason behind this mysterious tremor. The forest was in a state of anticipation, eagerly awaiting what would happen next. From the shadows, giant figures emerged. They were elephants. These elephants had lived in the Whispering Woods for generations and were known for their strength and enormous size. Huge grey elephants with long trunks and tusks as sharp as swords. These tusks were used for self-defense and for obtaining food. They walked through the forest with heavy, powerful steps. Each step shook the ground beneath them, making the other animals feel fear and awe. The animals scattered, afraid of the giant elephants. The elephants dominated everything in their path, and there was no one who could stand against them. The elephants were the largest creatures in the Whispering Woods, doing as they pleased, whenever they wanted. The elephants were hungry and were looking for food everywhere. They pushed trees to reach their leaves and trampled bushes and flowers with their huge feet. There was nothing that could stop them. The other animals watched in fear as their beautiful forest was being destroyed. The elephants didn't care what was happening around them. All that mattered was satisfying their hunger. But not everyone was afraid. Deep in the forest floor lived a colony of ants. They were small, but they were many, and they were not happy with what the elephants were doing. One ant cried out, "Look what they're doing to our home!" Another said, "We must do something." The ants were brave, and they were also very smart. They knew they couldn't fight the elephants with force, so they decided to use their minds. The ants gathered together. They needed a clever plan to stop the elephants. A small ant named Ali had an idea. Ali exclaimed, "I know what to do! We can use the elephant's size against them!" The other ants listened intently. Ali was the smallest ant in the colony, but he was also the smartest. Ali explained his plan. "We'll climb the tallest tree and shower the elephants with something they hate." All the ants agreed. It was a good plan. They quickly started working. They gathered leaves and berries and squeezed the juice from very sour berries, which elephants hate. The ants carried the leaves and berry juice and marched towards the tallest tree in the forest. They climbed and climbed and climbed, like a small army on an important mission. The elephants were still busy eating and didn't notice the small ants climbing the tree above them. Ali shouted, "Are you ready?" The other ants yelled, "Ready!" With that, the ants flipped the leaves and poured the sour berry juice on the elephants below. "Oh no!" the elephants cried. None of them expected what happened next. The sour berry juice was falling on their heads, in their eyes, and on their trunks, and it tasted terrible. They had no idea where this strange juice was coming from. They had never tasted anything so awful. The elephants panicked. They screamed and stomped their feet, trying to get rid of the sticky juice, trying to get rid of that sticky, sour mess. The elephants shook their bodies vigorously, but the juice clung to them. They didn't know where it was coming from, and they were looking everywhere for the source of this juice. The elephants were completely confused. They didn't see the tiny ants high above them. The elephants, confused and annoyed, decided to leave. They retreated from the whispering woods, screaming in disgust. The ants had won. The elephants wondered how such small creatures could cause them so much trouble. But in the end, they had no choice but to retreat. The other animals cheered. The ants had saved the day. They had proven that even the smallest creature can be powerful with teamwork and intelligence. As for the elephants, they learned a valuable lesson that day. They learned that they were not the only creatures living in the whispering woods. They learned that despite their massive size and strength, they needed to respect all creatures, big or small. From that day on, the elephants became more careful. They still visited the whispering woods, but they were more mindful of the other animals. They learned to share the forest and treat it with respect. And so the whispering woods became peaceful once again. The ants continued their lives, reminding everyone that even the smallest creature can make a big difference.